Hey guys, my name is Rachel Metz, and today I am kind of taking over Extra Space's channel by bringing to you a DIY laundry room makeover utilizing some of their blog posts that they have readily available for you as well for my dear friend Mike of Modern Builds. Now, some people may get overwhelmed when a before of a room looks like this. Have no fear, Extra Space is here. Their blog is extremely helpful, and I'm going to refer to a couple other posts as well, but their junk room decluttering and organization tips is a great place to start if you really have never done something like this before and are looking for a list to kind of follow. That's how I utilize their blog posts. If you aren't familiar with my channel, then you won't understand how much of a regular saying it is to clean up and clean out prior to any makeover. I will go through every single thing, make sure I can donate it, throw it away, keep it and reuse it, or repurpose it into another room before I even begin to touch the room that I'm making over. Just from one wall, just this one portion. It doesn't look like a lot of dirt. Just one swiffer pad. So if I didn't do that, I would be painting all that dust into the wall. So it's always good to clean your walls because then it will grip to the actual wall versus like getting all these dust particles and whatnot on it. Nasty. I'm actually taking a tip out of Extra Space's book where I am doubling up his laundry room to be a quote-unquote mud room, but because we are in the desert, I'm going to make it a sand room. It is totally personal preference, however you want to paint your laundry room, but because I am doubling this up and there's going to be a lot more traffic in here, I'm going to go with the basic plain white that is in a satin finish, which is easy to clean up and clean off of the walls if anything is to mess them up. Do take note if you need to prime your walls properly. I always go in with the primer and then I will come in with the paint color. No matter if you are an artiste or not, I think drawing out your space and having a sketch on hand that you can easily change as you're progressing through the project is very helpful, at least for me. So I like to get these whiteboard clipboards so I'm not wasting paper. And also, again, I can easily change the sketch as ideas come to me. I think something that you should note as you are making over a space to be more functional is that it is bound to change. The plan never goes according to plan. So I just say, as you're sketching, don't be hard on yourself if your end result wasn't your initial inspiration sketch. Once I was settled on a design that I liked and it was actually functional for Mike and how I've seen him operate, I decided to move forward with executing the actual makeover now. Cupboards and open shelving is always a debate when it comes to any space, but Mike actually told me he would like to go towards the open shelving, so we're gonna go ahead and take these old cupboards off. We're gonna take these down and extend them, and then we're gonna take this down and extend it. But for you guys, if you are getting rid of old cabinets, people love cabinets because they're actually very expensive. So I like to do is put every single bit of hardware that is attached to this, even the screws, into the wall, and I'll tape it to the door. So that way when I gift it to the next person that I'm donating it to, or I'm donating it to a place, they have everything that they need. Just makes life easier. Fun fact. Hot tip. Hope you guys are having a good day. None of those are into studs. So I just ripped all those out, even though they're screwed all the way in. That is why you need drywall anchors and a zircon. Oh my god. Fun fact. That came out in one piece. Hot take on laundry rooms. Okay, kind of like small bathrooms. They end up looking the same and taking the same layout because truth be told, it really is what kind of looks, in my opinion, the freshest, the lightest, and the most aesthetically pleasing. As much as I would like to do a little bit of a backsplash situation, that's not the case. And as much as I want to get funky, also not the case, because this whole makeover is intended for Mike to have a room that is complete. but not like crazy renoed and demoed, just looking real cute and crispy. So while he renos and demos the rest of his house, he has this room always that's just like a constant designed breath of fresh air. So we are doing the traditional tried and true that you see throughout every single laundry room, loading shelves. But I'm gonna do a couple of things a little bit different, hopefully to give it obviously the functionality that him and I spoke about, but to add a little bit more flair because I want to take it up a notch this year in any way that I can. So let's see how we can do that over here. Now we just gotta paint that tediousness.
I wasn't anticipating having to paint behind here. That's why I kind of left that section. It kind of seems like I just forgot about it, but I didn't. We just went a new route, which is always great because we're gonna start to plan for more storage. I have done 1,000,001 floating shelves, it feels like, over on my channel, but it is a tried and true in laundry rooms, and it's a great way to customize the amount of storage that you would like in your space. Everybody's shelving situation is going to be different. What I like to do is take a piece of tape and take note of the measurements that were there before and start to tape to scale what I would like to put onto the wall. After I decide what looks best, that's when I go in and I just take some 2x4s and I start to build the frame by installing that back piece first and then adding my supports. You want to make sure that this is level as well. So if you are working by yourself, a good tip is if you are hanging something up against a wall that's longer than you, just use a screw to hang it into the middle and then work your way to the outside and level it that way.
And the frame is done. I started to add the supports in between the frames because it's long, so you want to make sure that you're supporting that. And then I'm just gonna repeat the same process to these two guys. And we aren't concerned with that window because it's weird anyways. So let's finish up here.
Since I am building alone, that is why I am executing it the way that I am from the back to the front. I will always finish with the front piece just because for me, that is easier as I am DIYing this. Before I went to wrap the floating shelves, it hit me that I needed to do the pegboard, and I need to install that first because we're going to be cutting the tops of one of those shelves around it. So I have done this a bunch of times on my channel. I think pegboard is an awesome way to go when you're looking for something funky, fun, and fresh that brings personality to your space, but also functionality. Creating a pegboard really isn't that difficult. Even if you are new to tools, you're essentially cutting down a piece of plywood, going in with a Forstner drill bit and a power drill, making your holes, and then installing a frame and then screwing that directly on top. So it's actually fairly simple to make something super custom for your space that holds all of your items. Before you hang up the actual pegboard that you just drilled, you want to make sure that you're adding a frame into the studs behind the drywall to make sure that that pegboard is not just going to come out the wall. You need to make sure that it is properly hung up. And again, I have a full tutorial just going into absolute depth over on my channel.
Now these holes should be alternating, but you saw when I drew it on, it just looked like there'd be too many holes. So I'm just copying the exact same thing that Mike did in his bathroom, which they're not alternating in there, but they should be alternating.
I put the piece of pegboard into place. I tacked it into place to help me since I was working alone with my brad nailer and went back in with the appropriate length screws and secured it completely. Floating shelves and just DIY shelving and storage solutions in general are so awesome because you can tweak them fully to you. Something I would be doing differently here is I would have not made those 2x4 frames. I would have made them 2x2 to make them a little bit on the skinnier side. And I wouldn't use as chunky of plywood, which I believe this is 3/4 thick. I would have gone thinner just to make them look a little bit more chic and sleek. You might notice that there is some backsplash that is underneath that last shelf, and that is because I just did a budget-friendly version where you sand down your wall and it's the peel and stick that you can order off of Amazon. It's an easy way to make your space look a little bit more clean without having to do the whole tiling process, and way more budget-friendly. I decided to wrap this shelf last after I added the pegboard, and that is just because I want to make sure that that custom cut back there that grooves in was nice and snug. Mike had these generic like floppy plastic baseboards on before I came in, and I just came in with a more modern, thicker, square, minimalistic baseboard that again will tailor up your space fairly well if you're looking for another easy upgrade. And then what I like to do is just go in with my nail gun, caulk it, let that dry. After I fill the nail holes as well, paint that, bada bing, bada boom, and we're good to go.
Oh no. What is happening right there? I need to fix that. Oh yeah.
Now, for the holes, you want to make sure that you're getting the same size dowel. You want it to be nice and snug when you slide it in there, and add your shelves to make sure they're nice and secure. You will be able to move these around, but the more snug the dowels, the better in my opinion. I personally love pegboards as storage options in any room because it can change as much as my personality and my mind, which is quite often. I'm gonna set these 2 shelves here and kind of decorate it to be more functional than a styled moment like I would in an office or somewhere else. I wanna make sure that we're getting the most functionality and storage out of this space as possible. I also like to use pipe and flange, but kind of switch it up a little bit using copper pipe to make it look, again, a little bit more chic. I've utilized this on like ceiling to floor bookshelves. I have done a full closet in pipe and flange. It is truly great.
I am falling in love with this corner. There are just so many opportunities for storage and cute decor moments that I feel like laundry rooms should always have. So up here, he's very tall. We have a stepping stool. I put a copper cap at the end of this rod to make it look a little different, also to stop these from falling forward. And these are just excess hangers. Up here, I'm just gonna keep it very simple and put a tropical plant that will do well with the sunlight that comes in here. When you move down, I love again that you can move all this around if you want to, but I'm just gonna put little baskets for knickknacks and things, or just like a little catch-all moment. And then I'm gonna put a cacti. I just noticed I need to do the wood putty. Whoops, so I need to go back and do that as well. For right here, I'm just gonna plop some towels that he can grab and go. And then this is a little container, but the dryer sheets are going to be inside of it. It just makes it look a little bit more chic, and we'll put that above the dryer. And then right next to that, before it breaks into things that you need for the washer, again, I will add a plant that's going to do well in here with the sunlight and things, and then a Joshua Tree Candle Company Joshua Blossom signature scent. Oh, like tuck me in, how cute.
Right here, I am doing a very quick DIY. I am reusing an old IKEA table that I cut down to size. It is very light, so I don't need crazy support. I'm going in and installing a dowel on the right-hand side of the wall so it looks like it's floating, but then on the left-hand side, utilizing the dowels and cutting them down to be legs. The reason I'm doing this is because the dryer is gonna shake, rattle, and roll, and if I'm trying to connect like I did on the wall to the dryer, that's just gonna be a no-go.
Little folding station. His generator is back there. I'm gonna actually push a trash can back there because there's an opening and he can slide trash or whatever back there, and then I'm gonna put a hamper in front. Watch this. Okay, so first the trash can. And I want everything to be accessible. So the generator he can pull out, plug in with ease because the trash can doesn't block it. The trash can is long ways. I might make a little marker, but he also can know to go into the backhand corner to like swipe things back and off. And then to cover it, just get yourself a cute hamper. Plenty of room to throw clothes into. That's why I like it a little tall.
I love utilizing storage baskets wherever I can, so you'll see a wide variety of different types throughout the space that are gonna function differently for obviously the different things that are inside of them. Another tried and true that I do over on my channel to chic up any space and make it look a little bit more clean is swapping out your screw faceplates for screwless faceplates. Something else that is really fun and makes a laundry room feel a little less boring is adding a pop of color or a pattern where you can. Trust me, it will make you so happy. So I did it actually to the door of the laundry room on the inside. I'm also going to repeat that, but invert the 2 colors for the doggy door.
I gotta paint touch-ups. Oh no. Okay, so cute. And then we're gonna do, and then we're just gonna touch up there.
Speaking of patterns, actually, my dear friend Elena, who painted a mural in a Pilates studio makeover that I did, came out and painted a quick, not even 30-minute mural up on the ceiling to draw your eye up, but not make the room feel so intense on the walls. So it's clean, but pretty up top. One thing that you can do for every and any space is add a rug, but specifically in a mud laundry room combo like we have here, I want to make it so that you can't really tell that it's about to get dirty, because it will. So I opted for a jute rug with a little bit of orange to pull in that orange from the ceiling to the floor to make it feel like a cohesive space. If you cannot build a bench with storage like Mr. Mike did here, and he has that tutorial over on his channel, you can definitely purchase one with storage, whether that be drawers or even shoe cubbies underneath. Since this one didn't have it, but I wanted to repurpose his build, I went and got some just plain open storage boxes to throw your shoes into and painted the ring the color of the room to accent it, but also that way you don't see the shoes. I like just dropping them in each bin and walking inside versus having them laying out on the floor. When in doubt, hook it out, my friends. I mean, I genuinely think adding hooks to your walls, whether you're hanging scarves, dog leashes, jackets, robes, what have you, there's a hook for any reason, any season, any purpose for your space. It is truly incredible when you take a second to take a breath and refresh a space and dive into it with storage solutions in mind, what you can accomplish. Right here at Mike's, this honestly was just his catch-all room. You can clearly see it was a mess before, and there was no organization, there was no storage, there was no functionality to it besides the washer and dryer and those old cupboards, at least in my opinion. And now, after revisiting each wall and customizing things, we have created this fully functional laundry room, mud room, but we're gonna call it sand room combo for Mr. Mike of Modern Builds. I have done my fair share of laundry rooms, and I love personalizing them to each person that I am making them over for. So if you guys want other examples, I have a ton over on my channel for even more storage solutions, but Extra Space has you even more so with their blog post that we've linked down below for you, and I referred to throughout this entire tutorial with them. It's really lovely to not only have Extra Space as like an actual storage solution, but to have their blog to refer to when I'm feeling a little lost and overwhelmed organizing myself over here. And I'm sure that it is a great tool for you guys to have in your tool belt too. Thank you so much to you guys for sitting down and watching this makeover and letting me share all my hot tips left and right with you. And thank you so much for Extra Space for having me here on your channel today. I hope to see you guys very soon.